The AHL, it's quite the league. Founded in 1936 as a sort of interlocking schedule between the International Hockey League and the Canadian American Hockey League. It became a full-fledged league in 1938 and has since grown into who basically he like the AAA of ice hockey, being just below the NHL in prestige and above what I guess you could call the AA of ice hockey, the ECHL. The 1936-37 season of the AHL, not sure why the name was like that, featured 8 teams at the start. The Philadelphia Ramblers, affiliated with the New York Rangers. The Springfield Indians. Providence Reds. New Haven Eagles. Syracuse Stars. Pittsburgh Hornets. Cleveland Falcons. And the Buffalo Bisons. Something interesting that happened is that after just 11 games, the Buffalo Bisons will suspend operations due to their arena, the Peace Bridge Arena, having a roof collapse after 13 feet of snow was on the roof, and it caused the roof to collapse. And so they're just like, although there is an arena, or there was an arena in Buffalo that they could have played at. Funnily enough, in the next season, 1937-38, the league decided not to add another team, probably because they didn't really have, or they weren't really an actual league yet at that point in time. In fact, the only thing that changed was the Cleveland Falcons. They became the Cleveland Barons. But in 1938, the league became an actual fully fledged league that still had teams without affiliates, but the league decided to add one of the most important franchises in its history, in fact, probably the most important, if you want to say so, the Hershey Bears. Right? Isn't that what Yeah, they were the Hershey Bears. I don't know why I thought that they were different or something. Hold on, I'm trying to change. Here. In the 1939 season, the Indianapolis Capitals were added, playing at the recently built Indiana State Fair Coliseum, which is still existent today. And that made the divisions uneven again. Yippee! The following season, the Syracuse Stars moved to Buffalo to rebirth the Buffalo Bisons, who for some reason had a soda cap for a logo, if you want to call it that. And it didn't even say Bison, it just said Buffalo Hockey Club on it, which is hilarious. The next season, 1941-42, we got the Philadelphia Ramblers becoming the Philadelphia Rockets and the Washington Lions joining. I don't know why it did that. The 1942-43 season was quite the season. The Philadelphia Rockets went bye-bye. Springfield Indians left. The New Haven Eagles left mid-season, and the Hershey Bears moved divisions, which makes sense because then they'd be uneven. 1943-44 saw the Washington Lions go bye-bye, and the Buffalo Bison switched divisions, which made them even again. And there were still two games between the Providence Reds and Pittsburgh Hornets got canceled for some reason. And also the Indianapolis Capitals were literally the only team that were affiliated. The rest were independent. 44-45 saw the St. Louis Flyers switch from the American Hockey Association to the AHL. And they actually played at the St. Louis Arena, which would eventually become the home of the St. Louis Blues. And also the Capitals were still the only team with an affiliate. 45-46. The New Haven Eagles came back. And now there were 3 teams with affiliates. We got 2 new affiliated teams. From 46-47, and the Hershey Bears won their first ever championship. Their first of 13. The New Haven Eagles became the Ramblers. The Springfield Indians came back. Philadelphia Rockets joined, and the Buffalo Bison switched back to the West Division, where they had been playing for the past few seasons. We still have 5 independent teams. I don't know why there were so many oh my goodness. There were 5 affiliated teams. And 47-48, we finally got player trophies, and the Washington Lions came back. And 48-49 saw the Providence Reds win another title, and no changes whatsoever. And then in 49-50, Philadelphia Rockets it ceased operations. Washington Lions moved to Cincinnati, becoming the Mohawks. And then they switched divisions with the Buffalo Bisons. 51. The Ramblers changed back to the Eagles, and then they ceased operations. Okay, editing me here. I realized I forgot. I made a very critical error. And I meant to say that this was season number 15. And that had the last thing you'd want in your minor league hockey league is a bunch of unaffiliated teams. 51-52, who the Springfield Indians moved to Syracuse and became the Warriors. 52-53, the Indianapolis Capital went bye-bye, and the Cincinnati Mohawks went to the International Hockey League, a different one. 53-54, the St. Louis Flyers ceased operations, and half the league was affiliated. Wonder who wasn't affiliated? The champions, the Cleveland Barons. 54-55. The Syracuse Warriors moved back to Massachusetts, becoming the Springfield Indians. They still played at the same arena that they were playing in. And still half the league was affiliated. And it seems like, I guess, whenever the Providence Reds win championships, just nothing happens. Because in 55-56, nothing happened. But in 56-57, the Pittsburgh Hornets moved to Rochester, New York, becoming the Rochester Americans, and were the playoff runner-ups. That also means the end of this part of this video. If it does well, I might do part 2. If this doesn't do well, bye-bye. Like if you'd like to see more, sub if you'd love to see more. Bye.